Chair recognizes Representative Gilliard to speak to the bill.
Mr. Speaker, and brothers and sisters in this House of the Georgia General Assembly, I rise in support of House Bill 657. In 1984, when I attended Morris Brown College as a post-civil rights child, I was mentored by some great individuals that taught me about the beloved community. Reverend James Orange and those, Reverend Hosea Williams, Abel Mabel Thomas was just coming to the General Assembly as my mentor. And they taught me about the beloved community, but that year, in 1984, I lost two friends to violent crime in Savannah, Georgia. In 1984, we had the highest murder rate per capita in the nation. In 1991, we had 59 murders in Savannah as the highest murder rate in the nation per capita, and 59 of those murders were African-American women who, out of 59, 14 of them were murdered at the hands of those that had guns that were felons. My background is simply that I work in 1984 to do Stop the Violence movements, started the movement from prayer vigils to stop the violence in America. And even surpassing that, I currently work with those that are in our system. I have a program that has 6 graduates of men and women in the jail system called New Beginnings. As the CEO of Feed the Hungry in 14 cities, our #1 volunteer base are those that come out of the prisons. They are #1 volunteer base. But in our community right now, there is a problem, and that problem is no respect for life. Today, my brothers and sisters, it's time for us to take responsibility, for they are coming into our communities, and those that have weapons that should not have weapons, that are those that are felons, have no respect for life. Can I just make it personal? How many of you know someone in your family or in your community that has lost a life to senseless violence? Would you stand in honor of them right now? Let me make it even more personal. It's time for the village to stand and take responsibility. Now, I'm a proponent of giving prevention programs, and I'm a proponent of reentry, and I'm a proponent, and I applaud our governor for the efforts of being the governor that has done more in the areas of reentry. But sometimes you get tired of being tired of the excuses. Guns don't die, people do. And so in Savannah, Georgia, just some weeks ago, to make it very personal for you, a couple of months ago, a 2-year-old laid down on the sofa, but the derelict disrespect of those that would ride, that say that they love our communities, came into our communities. She laid down on the sofa, but those that shot up the house, she didn't get up. Just a couple of months ago, a 15-year-old by the name of Akins, a student at Windsor Forest High School, went to a game, church-going, honor roll student, football player. A 16-year-old went to personally assassinate him, waited for him outside the local McDonald's, and took his life, and then said, oops, it was the wrong person. No respect for life. But let me even get more personal for those that are in the funeral caucus. Just about a week and a half ago, there was a funeral in Savannah, Georgia. And at this funeral, the disrespect of a young man that was being laid to rest, they came up in the funeral and shot up the funeral in Savannah, Georgia. And a 12-year-old by the name of Cooksley that had nothing to do with anything lost his life. Sometimes the village must stand up and take responsibility. And it is those that are in those communities that have no respect, that have weapons that should not have weapons, and those that purchase the weapons for them. And I even went as far to tell my daughter, I said, you know, as you hang with company, understand that this bill that we're proposing is coming up. And even to my daughter, if you hang with Pookie and Quan and you purchase that gun, you're going down. You're gonna suffer the consequences because the village is tired, because we in our communities, we have red sirens that ride every day and blue sirens. But even more, we have tired of going to funerals of individuals that have no respect for life. So today I ask you, brothers and sisters of this assembly, to move aside Democrat, Republican, as a Second Amendment gun-carrying person that has the right. Move aside that it's not about a gun. It is truly about the respect for life. And just last week, our mayor and our city was up in arms saying we got to do something. And all over our communities, we say we've got to do something. Well, I was elected to legislate, and I was elected to represent the street committee that's not here today. And the street committee is tired of going to funerals, tired of burying their sons and daughters, and we need to do something. I ask for your favorable consideration in supporting House Bill 657. Mr. Speaker, I yield the well.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of House Bill 657 will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. What purpose does Representative Vernon Jones rise?
Mr. Speaker, parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
Is it true that this particular House Bill 657 is not about whether or not you're pro-gun or pro-Second Amendment? It's about giving a district attorney the ability to charge an individual who gave a gun to another individual. He may not even known the other person was on probation for a felon, and the person who gave them the gun will be charged as a felon if it's proven, which is discretion on the district attorney, on whether or not he gave it to him knowingly or not.
If the gentleman so states, I'm sure he believes that to be true. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines on the passage of House Bill 657. The ayes are 156, the nays are 3. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed.